Welcome to Tech for Leaders. Today, we are getting right into it, looking at the world through the eyes of a CIO or a head of applications. We're going to tackle the huge challenges they're facing right now by breaking down what we're calling the 2025 Cloud Playbook. This is all about strategy, AI, and of course, keeping an eye on the finances.
So, let's just kick things off with the one question that should be keeping every tech leader up at night. Is your cloud strategy actually ready for 2025? I mean, really ready? Because, let's be honest, the ground is shifting under our feet, and the old playbook, it's just not going to cut it anymore.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover 5 key areas. First, we'll talk about the new rules of the game for cloud. Then, we'll get into mastering the multi-cloud world we all live in. After that, it's all about the AI revolution. From there, we'll build out a playbook for modern leaders, and finally, we'll figure out your next big strategic move.
Okay, first things first. We have to get our heads around this one big idea. The cloud isn't what it used to be. Seriously, it's not just about getting rid of your old data center anymore. We've moved way beyond that. Today, it's a massive, complex ecosystem, and it's the engine that's actually driving business innovation.
And if you need proof, just look at these numbers. They are staggering. We are so far past the tipping point, it's not even funny. 94% of enterprises are using the cloud. 72% of all global workloads are running in the cloud. It's the default, it's the foundation. So the conversation is no longer, should we use the cloud? The real question for leaders today is, how well are we actually using it?
And that reality leads us right into our next big topic, multi-cloud. Because once you accept that cloud is the default, you realize pretty quickly it's not about picking just one winner anymore. That ship has sailed. The new normal for pretty much any enterprise is a multi-cloud world, and you don't just have to live in it, you have to master it.
So if you look at the market, the big three, AWS, Azure, and Google, they own a huge piece of the pie. No surprise there. AWS is still the king of the hill. But look closer at that other slice. It's still almost a third of the entire market. That tells you something really important about the diversity out there.
And that diversity is exactly why this next number is so critical for every CIO and IT leader. 85%. That's how many enterprises have a multi-cloud strategy. So forget the idea of putting all your eggs in one basket. The job today is managing a whole portfolio of cloud services. You're picking the best tool for the job, you're building resilience, and you're trying your best not to get locked into one single vendor.
And that portfolio is usually a mix of a couple of key models, right? You've got the public cloud, think AWS, Azure, which is amazing for scaling up and getting your hands on the latest and greatest tech. Then you have your private and hybrid setups. That's where you get more control. You meet those tough compliance rules, but you still connect it all to the public cloud. The real art for a leader today? It's being the conductor of that orchestra, making them all play together perfectly.
Okay, so this brings us to the really exciting part, AI. And this is precisely why that multi-cloud strategy is so darn important, because AI isn't some side project anymore. It's the thing. It's the biggest value driver we're seeing, and it's all being delivered through the cloud. So having a multi-cloud approach means you can go cherry-pick the absolute best AI service no matter who makes it. Your cloud strategy and your AI strategy, they're now one and the same.
And hey, don't just take it from me. Listen to what the CEO of Amazon, Andy Jassy, said. Every client is talking about how to leverage generative AI. Every single one. This is not some techie fad. This is the conversation happening in boardrooms everywhere, in every industry, and it's all powered by the cloud. So naturally, the big players are all fighting for your AI business. AWS, with Bedrock, is all about giving you choices, a whole buffet of different AI models. Microsoft Azure is leveraging its huge partnership with OpenAI, so you get enterprise-level access to things like GPT-4. And then there's Google, playing to their strengths with Vertex AI, tying it super tightly into all their amazing data and research capabilities.
Okay, so you're juggling this multi-cloud world, you're trying to tap into this crazy AI revolution, but how do you actually pull it off without everything falling apart? Well, that's where the playbook comes in. We're going to get tactical now and talk about how to tackle the top 3 challenges that everyone is facing.
Now look at this list of challenges and notice the big change right at the top. For years, security was number 1, always. But now, for the first time ever, managing what you're actually spending on the cloud has jumped into the top spot. 82% of companies say it's a huge problem. That tells you the conversation has totally shifted from, can we trust it, to what are we getting for all this money?
And here's the uh-oh moment.
This is why cost is suddenly front and center. On average, companies went over their cloud budget by 18% last year. 18%! That is not a small number. That is a kind of number that gets the CFO and the CEO paying very, very close attention.
So where's all that extra cash going? Well, get this. Estimates show that about a third of cloud spending is just wasted, gone, poured into resources that are sitting there doing nothing, or are way oversized for the job. And with AI workloads, which can get crazy expensive, this problem is only getting bigger. We're not talking about rounding errors here. This is a huge pile of money that's just waiting to be reclaimed.
So how do you get that waste back under control? The answer everyone's talking about is FinOps. And it's really important to understand that this isn't just a piece of software or a new department. It's a whole new culture. Think of it as the rulebook for spending money in the cloud, where finance, IT, and the engineers all get in the same room and make smart trade-offs together.
And the FinOps playbook basically boils down to 4 key practices. First, you need visibility. You got to see where every dollar is going. Simple as that. Second, you optimize. You hunt down that waste, right-size everything, and use discounts. Third, you put in some guardrails, governance, to automate the rules and stop the waste before it happens. And finally, and this is the big one, you get everyone talking. You build a culture where everyone, from finance to developers, cares about the cost.
But the playbook isn't just about money, right? Security is still a massive deal. You have to nail the shared responsibility model, knowing what the cloud provider handles versus what you are on the hook for, which is basically all your data and apps. And then there's the people problem. You've got 85% of companies using multiple clouds, but only 9% of their tech folks are actually good at it. That skills gap is a huge risk, and it's on leadership to fix it.
All right, let's pull all these threads together. When you have a solid playbook that hits these 3 areas, cost, security, and skills, you can fundamentally change the conversation about cloud in your company. You can finally move it from being seen as just another cost center to what it should be, a true engine for driving business value. So if you're going to remember just 3 things for your 2025 strategy, make it these. 1, your reality is multi-cloud. Stop fighting it. Manage it like a portfolio. 2, AI is the whole ballgame now. Your cloud choices are your AI choices. And 3, as a leader, you need a playbook, a real actionable plan for FinOps, security, and closing that skills gap.
And that all leads to the one final question I want to leave you with, and it's a big one. As a leader, you need to look at your organization and ask this. Honestly, is your cloud just a cost center? Just another expense line to be squeezed? Or is it a value engine? The thing that's actually powering your business forward? Because how you answer that question, well, that's going to define your success.
I really hope you enjoyed today's session. If you got some value out of it, please do like and subscribe. It honestly helps the channel a ton and lets us bring you more insights into how today's digital leaders are navigating this crazy revolution in their workplaces.